The speed of light is encoded into Genesis 1:1. This means big things for the future, and big things for science, medicine, technology, and religion. To see it, you'll need an initiation into some very specific aspects of language and number. We'll start with the linguistic aspect. The ancient man heard the hissing of the fire and called it es, an onomatopoeia. The word es is among the oldest words we humans have, from as far back as the Ice Age. The noun derived from this word is aster, meaning star. It's seen in words like asterisk, astronomy, and disaster. The Hebrew heroine Esther's name means star. The Hebrew spelling directly correlates to the letters ASTR. In Genesis 4:14, the phrase, "I shall be hidden," is spelled the exact same way. Our first clue is here in the fact that "I shall be hidden" and "star" are spelled the same. Because the letters samach and shin can both produce the S sound in Hebrew, we can spell the word aster with a shin instead of a samach. This makes sense because the word fire, from which the word star is derived, is spelled aleph shen. According to general relativity, everything is moving at the speed of light, which is hundreds of thousands of meters per second. How is this possible for objects standing still? Well, it's a ratio. When you aren't moving through space at light speed, you move through time at light speed. The speed of light is about luminance, but also about matter in general. It's about the substance that makes up your being, trillions upon trillions of little particles that are like stars blazing in an infinite sky. Earth in the Bible is representative of matter in general, versus heaven, which is representative of the eternal forms matter can take. Genesis 1:1 is about the creation of earth, so if it's encoded with the speed of light, it seems that the verse isn't just talking about the creation of heaven and earth, but instead taking an active role in the generation of reality. The first word of this verse, translated as "in the beginning," is Bereshit. There's a rich tradition of rearranging these 6 letters to produce words and phrases that testify to God's nature, revealing first principles in creation. We can rearrange these letters to reveal the phrase, "star in me." The biblical Hebrew language is not linear like English, it's elemental. Letters can be moved around and preserve essential meaning. Ancient Hebrew writers made great use of this, as it's actually built into the language. In Greek and Hebrew, the word for east is related to the past, because the sun rises in the east. When time was determined by the sun, its point of rising was always in the past. The sun is a star, and a star in the east is a star in the beginning. Bereshit means in the beginning, so it makes sense that there would be a star in the beginning. If Bereshit is sunrise, we can follow the arc to the final word haaretz, meaning the earth. The Hebrew word earth can be rearranged to spell the word star. Here we see the sunrise and sunset of the first day of creation. So there's the linguistic aspect of the puzzle. Here's the numerical. Gematria is a technique for converting letters into numbers. This system may seem arbitrary at first, but anyone who has taken time to learn the system and apply it to the Bible will tell you the numerical complexity it reveals is spectacular. Imagine what it would take to write a story that communicates poetically, mathematically, and spiritually while staying relevant for thousands of years. The value of Genesis 1:1 is 2701, with prime factors 37 and 73, which are both star numbers. A star number represents the quantity of units required to create a 6-pointed star shape, like the Star of David. There are infinitely many star numbers, and the sequence begins 13, 37, 73. Earlier we saw how the word star is encoded at the edges of this verse, and now we see star numbers as its prime factors. These 2 stars are the revealed aspects of creation. There is a third star that represents the hidden aspect. The Hebrew word echad means one, as in Yom Echad or day 1. The picture emerging from Genesis 1:1 is of a single day that's also all days, because echad means one not only in the ordinal sense, but in the sense of absolute oneness or completion. Where was the sun before it rose? To the ancient mind, this was a mystery ripe for mythologizing. In Genesis, the days actually start at sunset. This is an intellectual leap that even modern humans struggle with. Things that are seen begin with things that are unseen, The dark parts of the electromagnetic spectrum aren't dark at all, we just don't have the organs to perceive it. The word echad, 1, is equal to 13. 13 is the first number in the series of star numbers yielding 37 and 73. Day 1 begins with 13, rises as 37, and sets as 73. 2701 is the revealed aspect of Genesis 1:1, the bold beginning of the Bible and the creation of the universe. 13 is the small hidden element, the cause, the mustard seed. The best way I can think to represent these two numbers as one number would be with 2701.13 because it communicates the smallness, the hiddenness, the separateness of 13 in relationship to 2701. The number 2701.13 is our numerator, and 901 is the denominator. Remember that 901 is the value of the word we established earlier, star. This equals 2.99792,452. The speed of light is 299,792,458 meters per second. That is accuracy to 1 part in 100 million. Wow. Because we don't know what unit of measurement the first number is in, the decimal point is irrelevant. It could be millimeters per kilosecond. I'm not completely sure what the implications of this are, but I'm starting to piece it together. Here's what I have so far. The distinction between the infinite multitude and the indivisible oneness of the absolute from which it arises is one that has racked the brains of philosophers and mathematicians for millennia. Often, God is described as infinite, but it's the opposite of this, his finite nature, that reveals true potency. Hero Israel, JEHOVAH'S is your Elohim, JEHOVAH'S is one, echad. The only way that the mind can balance these two extremes is in cycles. Thought moves from the absolute one towards the multitude of creation that testifies of the one from which it emerged. Even infinity is one thing, an infinity. Any additional set of infinite things can be added to the original infinite set to create one even bigger infinity. This set of all sets may be the single point at the dawn of creation. Genesis 1:1 is a cosmological blueprint of the journey from oneness into an infinite multitude that is then drawn back into singularity only to start the process over again. Because of this, it is also representative of the seed cycle, where a single seed holds the information of every tree that came before it and every tree that will come after it. A seed starts as a single object and moves towards multitudes. Some plants produce 1 million seeds in their lifetime. The buried seed is like the sun moving through the night in secrecy. It bursts forth as the sunrise and moves towards the multitude represented by the sea in the west. The series of star numbers starts with the single point, then 13 as the first movement of light out into 6 directions of 3D space. 37 isn't equivalent to 1 like 13 is, but it testifies to the 1 being made in its image. 73 is the value of the Hebrew word gimel, which is the 3rd letter and means yield or ripe. This ripe fruit drops into the west, which is the future, to start the process over again. Many ancient cultures only had words for the first 3 numbers. 1 was the absolute, 2 was division, and 3 was the multitude. 13 plus 37 plus 73 equals 1, 2, 3. These are the first knowable objects, expanding outwards into understanding. The numerator in our equation is representative of the threeness of space. Along with aster, there are other words equal to 901, including the Greek word hora, which means time. 901 being both hora and aster is beautiful when we consider that stars, be it the sun or stars in the night, were our only way of telling time for millennia. Our days here on Earth are divided by the sun, a star. The denominator in our equation is representative of time. The speed of light is in meters per second, space divided by time. Put simply, there are 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. 3 divided by 1 is 3, which is very close to 2701.13 divided by 901. There's a difference of about 0.00207. Worth mentioning that 207 is the value of the Hebrew word light. I believe what we're beginning to uncover here is the atomic structure of knowable reality. Atom means not cut, and represents the aspect of reality that can't be further reduced. The Aleph at the center of Genesis 1:1 is the ultimate atom, and in a future video we'll explore how it emits our universe. In the same way that phenomena can't be experienced without its radiation into space, so we can't know God without the radiation of His Word, the light that comes before luminance. Psalm 119:130, "The entrance of your words gives light, it gives understanding to the simple."